protests, one local group calling for peace and prayer during this time. 23 ABC's Daniela Garrido joining us live this morning for a look at a community-wide event aimed at honoring the life of George Floyd. Daniela?
That's right. Good morning. We're in front of the Bakersfield Police Department, and tonight there's going to be a visual right here in front of the headquarters to honor the life of George Floyd. It's all being led by a local organization.
We need to come together as one. I'm inviting all the protesters to kind of put their signs down for one day.
United We Stand is a faith-based group rooted in Bakersfield, which began as a Facebook group.
Even if you're not a believer, or if you're not Christian, if you're praying to a higher power, we ask that you join us.
They are calling on the community to shift the focus from active protest and toward silent prayer, honoring the life of George Floyd.
We can't deviate away from the issue. Like, all this protesting and all this rioting stemmed from somewhere. And the most recent event was with George Floyd, and I believe we need to remember him and having this memorial.
The group began at the start of the pandemic in an effort to provide prayer for the Bakersfield community during the outbreak.
I created this Facebook group page once this whole COVID-19 has started, this whole pandemic when we're locked in our homes. And we wanted to be there for the healthcare workers and be there for the patients.
Now the group is looking to help protesters and community activists during almost a week of protests.
Everybody's marching down the street peacefully, which is great to see. It's great to see that my own community and living in Bakersfield is actually doing something peaceful, and it's very meaningful to me to see that.
Tonight's vigil will be a local response to a nationwide effort as services for George Floyd begin over the course of the next 6 days.
We're going to meet in front of the police department at 7 p.m. I'm going to have pictures of Floyd and his life. We're going to have flowers. We're going to have candles. I'm going to have a couple of posters, right there next to his picture with a couple of Bible verses. And I'm going to play a couple of worship songs, a moment of silence for 8 minutes.
So as you can see, there are already flowers in front of this Bakersfield Police Department memorial. And if you want to be part of tonight's visual, that local organization is asking everyone to bring some flowers and a candle to participate. It's all going to start at 7 p.m. here at Bakersfield Police Department headquarters in downtown Bakersfield. For now, we're live in Bakersfield. I'm Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Daniela, thank you. In other news, there have been nearly 20 aftershocks in the Ridgecrest area following a 5.5 magnitude quake that hit last night. It hit the Searles Valley, the same area where the two back-to-back earthquakes struck last summer. The USGS reported that 5.5 quake, originally reported as a 5.1, 13 miles outside of Ridgecrest just before 7 o'clock last night. Today is exactly 11 months since the 6.4 quake hit last summer and was followed the next day by a 7.1. If you remember, thousands of aftershocks followed those quakes. So far, though, no reports of any damage this morning. And after that earthquake, seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones tweeted about the tremor, saying, quote, "Yes, an earthquake, a magnitude 5.5 at the very southern end of the 2019 Ridgecrest aftershock zone. This is a large late aftershock. Do you remember that I said these are common?" Last night, Dr. Jones talking to our ABC affiliate in LA about this quake.
It is an aftershock to the Ridgecrest earthquake of last year, it's not a surprise to anybody. I don't know if you remember, but 11 months ago I was talking about large late aftershocks. But the number dies off with time, but the ratio of large to small doesn't. Oh. And therefore, as you continue to have all of these small ones, eventually you have a big one somewhere in there so that ratio stays the same.
We'll continue to follow any developments and bring you updates as soon as they come into our newsroom. Last night, Caltrans posting this on Twitter after that earthquake. They said, "Did you feel the quake in eastern Kern County?" That's after that quake hit the Searles Valley. Caltrans crews say they responded immediately to inspect bridges and culverts, finding all structures sound with no damage from that quake. Mike?
In other news, the